Today marks 1352nd day sharing lessons I learn and continue to learn with you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and will empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today, we speak about an environment that you live in, your home. I think that we need to understand that every single home could support or sabotage growth. That means we need to work and strive for to make an environment that supports growth. And every single person is able to choose what environment they're able to create now. Not every single person is able to 100% create their own environment, but I think that we're able to really strive for really creating the best environment for it, for growth. I think that's, I really love the example analogy, probably you've heard as well 1,000 times, is that if the flower doesn't grow, if the flower doesn't bloom, what people say? They say that that flower doesn't have enough water, doesn't have sun, it doesn't have an environment to thrive in that environment. Exactly the same with people. Sometimes we need to pluck that person out of that environment or create an environment for growth, for flourishing. To be able to ask, do I have an environment that supports growth? Do I have an environment that supports inner peace? What kind of environment do I have? Maybe my environment creates stress. Maybe my environment creates chaos. Maybe my environment creates anxiety. I think that sometimes we're just able to really change our environment and we will change our mental, emotional state as well. And we start sometimes we're able to start small. So today we share small things that we're able to consider when creating an environment in our home. Number one, start from identity, not decoration. I mean, sometimes people think, okay, that really looks beautiful, I will put that at home. But sometimes people that's like who I want to become, what kind of person I want to be, what kind of person I want to be, who I want to become. Because I think that sometimes even decorations, even the things that we buy, supposed to represent who we are as a person. So you want a public speaker? Maybe there is something regarding that. You want to be a painter? Maybe regarding that. Like who or all? So you want to be the best father? What represents being the best father? So what kind of home represents who you want to be known for? I think it's a beautiful thing that people come in and then, okay, this is a person, this is who he is. So does your home represent who you are, who you want to become? I think sometimes we can really, our home represent who we are. But does it at least a little bit represent who we want to become? That's a question. Because I think that sometimes you'll be able to create a home that really supports the person that you're becoming, not the person who you are right now. Does your home support who you are becoming? That's the question. Your identity change. Because we're able to ask who I'm growing into, and does it represent my home? Because I think that sometimes like an environmental cues could anchor yourself even more. Number two, design for the nervous system. So what it means that I think be able to really regulate some areas. Maybe some areas could have like some warm, soft lights. Maybe some flowers. Maybe what is that thing that really reduce your background that is potentially house, but it has some calmness. Calmness. I think that that's again what we need to really seek is calmness. Sometimes I think that it's very, very important to really design your home that you're able to rest, recharge, because home's supposed to be the place for everything, including for rest. Because if you are at home but you never have rest at home, that means you spend a long time at home that is draining your energy. We need to ask, is there a place at my home that you could sit down and relax and recharge? Because we need to have that place at home for relaxation. So is there a place? And if not, we're able to create even a small sitting chair where we're able to really relax and not think about anything. And every part is of really being mindful and present. Number three is make friction work for you. And I really love this. Make friction work for you. And when I learned it, it's a very, very powerful lesson. Is that means that when we really love something that potentially is not helpful for us, maybe playing games, maybe eating chips. That means we need to create friction to do it. What it means is that if every single time when you play, you need to take out all the pieces and put somewhere very low. So that if you really need to start playing again, you need to really spend 5-10 minutes to really prepare to play. So that friction sometimes really keeps you away from bad habits. And that means at the other side, we need to really make sure that we have no friction whatsoever to do the right things. So what are the best habits that you're able to do to really make sure that there's no friction? So friction are the things that you do not want to do. You love them, but you know that is sabotaging your growth. So really making friction for those things, like even for the bad food, and really making it least friction. Number 4, build reflective surfaces, metaphorically and literally. So that means that I think that we're able to really create even reminders. I really love even like vision boards that you're able to go through, and those are able to really reflect. Am I doing today something towards that specific dream? Am I doing something for those things that I said it is important? So those cues could potentially build a reflective surface. So this is a surface for that. When you're looking to go through that, you remember, okay, this is what I'm working on. This is what my goal. Because I think that some days our days could become hard because not every single day the things that we need to do is easy. But when you really remind yourself why you started and what you are looking for, what's your goal, and you have that goal in front of you, it's much easier to really do the right thing when you do not feel like doing it. So sometimes having those surfaces, whiteboards, photos, symbols, whatever it is that really brings you back understanding what you're trying to achieve. Number 5, make space for discomfort or experimentation. So that I really love, like, there is a time management or priorities management. So you need to block times to do the certain things. I think that we're able to say have environment blocking as well. So that means that we have home, and then I block this spot for specific things. So for example, bed is only for sleep. No scrolling in a bed with the phone in the hand. That is not the place to do that. So being able to really say design, this is my spot for relaxation, for mindfulness, for being present. This is my spot for learning, for developing. This is the spot where I experiment. There, this is where I'm creative. This is a spot where I do different things. So really block different spots of your home to understand that your mind need to turn different parts of you in different spots. It's amazing when you're able to really trigger yourself in certain way when you're able to say, like, I sit down, so that means this chair is reflection chair. So all I do in this chair is reflect. It's much easier to really get into that state when you're triggered by an environment as well. So that this is my spot where I learn, I develop, I grow. So like my mind is turning on to really bring ideas in. I think that's very, very, very powerful. Number 6 is let your space evolve as you do. So I think that that's like when you develop yourself, when you grow yourself, when you develop the skill sets. So it means that when you start from 1 to 10, that means maybe you start at 1. So the things that you need to do to get to level 3 will be different than the things that you need to do to get to level 5, 6, 7. So that means that the skills that you need to develop, it might be that the things that you need to do right now will be different. And based on that, you're able to adjust your space and skill sets and character traits in your vision, in your goals, because your goals really could potentially get bigger and bigger. So the goals that you had in the past is not your goal anymore. So that means that some things will need to be removed out of your plate, that you could really bring the better things for you. So it always will be evolving because you are evolving along with environment. Number 7, practice radical honesty at home. And this again, this is a beautiful place when you're able to understand that home environment is not just the way how it look, but how you feel and how you interact with yourself at home. It's like at home, this is a place to have honesty, radical self honesty, and being able to really say that maybe maybe I need to really declutter all the things. Maybe I need to declutter my mind. Maybe I need to declutter all the things that I have. Maybe I have too many swears. Maybe I have too many pants. Maybe I have too many shoes. Maybe I have too many thoughts on things that is not helping me. So being able to really be radical, honest with yourself, really remove the things that you don't need, because I think that it's easy to add and add and add. Sometimes the hardest thing to do for people, including sometimes myself, is to remove things. I really learned very hard to really being able to really not hold everything, but being able to let it go, because the easier it is to let it go, the easier it is to take in. Because of course you're not able to pour things in a full cup. You need to really remove things out before pouring something in. And last one, number 8, is that cultivate ecology of growth, not just isolated habits. I think that what it means is that we need to really understand what are the cycle of my home. So instead of looking into different parts of what you want to do, nourish. Okay, so what is nourishment in your home? Maybe that is your spot for exercise, your spot where you eat. So this is nourishment reflection. Again, this is a part of really separating different areas of your home to really do different things for you. So what is this room for me? Is this for growth? Is this for um, energy? I think that understanding that different rooms could have different meaning. Might be that it's like this room is for connection. I invite my friends, and this is where we spend our time. It might be it's a creation. Maybe this is a room where I open my creativity, open my mind, and I paint, I write, I would sing, whatever it is. I think that's a beautiful thing when you have those spots in your room where you able to act differently, try yourself. And I think that's a beautiful thing when our environment supports our growth and getting better. So I hope that you reflect on how your environment is doing for you right now. Is supporting it. It's maybe there's something that you're able to improve just to make sure that you're able to really grow every single day, because we spend at home a lot of times a bunch of time. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.